Aloha, welcome to Where Hawaii Eats. I'm Ann Lee and I'm happy to introduce my friend Chef Shaymus Alwin. He is the executive corporate chef for G Lion Hawaii.
Quiora.
And what are you cooking today?
We have our Calabrian garlic shrimp. It's one of our best sellers for appetizers on the menu. We try to utilize as much of the local product as we can, so.
Okay, let's get started.
Sounds good. So we've got our Kauai shrimp. We're gonna just season them up a little bit. Want to make sure we get both sides there.
I like that you're using a tweezer. You brought that special for today? Or
Absolutely,
is that something
yeah.
you use
It's
in
kind
the
of my
kitchen?
second set of fingers here, so I don't have to keep touching everything. And we're gonna go ahead.
And how do you clean the shrimp? I don't think a lot of people know how to clean shrimp.
So with the shrimps, actually what we do is we like to try to keep it as almost frozen as possible because the heads don't have any sort of preservative. A lot of time the head-on shrimp will have preservatives in there, and we're trying not to really get that. So these will have a tendency to turn black quickly if we don't use that sort of thing. So
the name Calabrian, is that about the pepper that you're using, the spice? Can you tell me what that is?
yeah, Calabrian is a type of chili from Italy that we get specially sent in, and it's a labor of love by far. It's a jar about this big, and you have to take out every single seed, and then once it's deseeded, you have to then cook it out for about 2 hours to make sure that you get rid of a lot of the bitterness and the kick to it, and then it rounds out to a nice hot spicy sauce.
This is on the menu, correct?
Yes, it is.
And about five pieces of shrimp are on this.
Every time it's 5 pieces of shrimp, correct? And then we do a bunch of garlic in there, and some parsley, as well as lemon juice. So it's got the acid, the heat, the garlic. It's almost like North Shore shrimp spicy shrimp,
Okay.
but Italian version.
Tell me about Quiora. What is that? What does the name Quiora mean?
So Cura means here and now. So we built this restaurant around the fact that if people are coming to town, or if even you're local, that you've had a long day, everyone's done their thing, mom's gone and done her thing, dad has been doing his, and the kids have been playing at the pool or whatever it might be. Everybody gathers together for a family meal. Coming from an Italian family, that's what we did. We went to school all day, dad worked, mom worked, and then we always had a family meal at the end of the day.
And that's located at the Ritz-Carlton, correct?
Correct. That is on the 8th floor
8th floor.
of the Ritz-Carlton on the 2nd tower.
What else do we need for the dish?
Right now, we've got some bread shop, sourdough bread. So we're gonna go ahead and toast that up over here. Give a good amount of extra virgin olive oil on there. And we'll let that just crisp up. It's got a nice crust to it, nice crumb to it already, so we just wanna get an even distribution of golden brown, hopefully, on there. So.
If we don't have access to this type of pan, like, can we put it in a toaster? Is that?
Yeah, a toaster's just fine. You
Toaster's
just want
fine?
something to sop up all the goodness from the juice and the heads once they all kind of make a broth as it is.
So you have quite an interesting cooking background. You had said that you lived in Maine. You're from Maine.
Yes.
And you actually cooked for the Bushes.
So yeah, actually my first job was dishwasher at a place called Seascapes Restaurant in Cape Porpoise, Maine, which is just next to Kennebunkport, and the Bush family always summered there. And we always would see them coming in, but never really have too much interaction with them. And then one year, they decided to buy out the restaurant and have a private party. So it was really cool. I got to meet George Sr. as well as Barbara Bush, and probably some very influential people back in the day that I had no idea who they were at this point.
That's pretty awesome. How long do we cook the shrimp?
So usually, with a nice hot pan, it'll go pretty quickly, and you'll get that sizzling effect that's starting to happen right now. And once that starts happening, we're slowly bringing it up and get a little bit of caramelization. Really, what we're looking for is to make sure that the shrimp tail is cooked, as well as the heat in the head is warm and nicely cooked.
Okay, so what else do we need to add to the dish?
Okay, so now that it's getting nice and hot here, we're gonna go ahead and add some garlic.
About 2 garlic cloves, would you say?
Yeah, I would say about that. After that, we can go ahead and add a little bit of parsley to it and our Calabrian chilies. So this is, one of those things, it's a desired heat that you like.
So more heat, more
The
chili.
more kick, yeah, absolutely. Give it a little stir here.
So this is a pretty easy dish.
Absolutely, yeah. It's kind of just having the right ingredients and the
What
right
are you
amount.
adding right there?
This is lemon juice, fresh
Lemon juice,
squeezed lemon
fresh
juice.
squeezed lemon juice. Would you say about a lemon, one whole lemon,
Yeah, probably, that would be probably about a half a lemon.
half a lemon?
A juicy one, And then,
Okay, we gotta get this plated.
all right.
Plated to try
Sounds
this.
good. All right, so we're gonna go drop it just offset a little bit like this. You kind of go back and
Beautiful.
forth on it.
It looks amazing. I wish you could smell the flavor.
Yeah, those chilies have
The
a real
chili.
kick to them. And then you just take the sauce, pour that right on there, and then we finish it off
And
with
Chef,
some lemon and flowers to make it pretty.
tell everybody where your restaurant's at again,
It's on the 8th floor of the Ritz-Carlton Waikiki residence.
and what are your hours?
Our hours are, right now we're actually featuring breakfast from 7:30 to 11:30, and then dinner from 5:30 until 9 o'clock right now. Down here, probably.
Okay. You gonna try one?
Yeah.
Here.
Great. Thank you. So that juice,
That's really good.
acid, a little bit of heat, garlic, all those goodies.
Very good. Very spicy. Welcome to Where Hawaii Eats. We are in Levi's private dining room located at the beautiful Ritz-Carlton Residences in Waikiki Beach. With me today is Chef de Cuisine Patrick Collins. Patrick, thank you so much for doing this show.
Thank you.
Tell me what you've prepared for us today.
So 2 dishes here, both featuring local meats. The first one is pan-roasted Ludovico chicken, served with escargot, a little bit of Hira Bar Farms lettuce, and then we finish with a green garlic potage.
Very nice.
And then we have Molokai venison noisette, lightly roasted and then served over a wild mushroom marmalade. A little bit of pickled elderberries and then a béarnaise to go with it.
So venison, that's very unique to menu.
It is. It's something personally I've wanted to serve for a while. It shows up in the French repertoire quite a lot. And we're really fortunate here in that we actually have truly wild venison. Nowhere else in the U.S. can you harvest venison and sell it commercially. So all other venison has been farm raised. So this one here truly has a taste of the wild.
So can we have a
course.
taste of this?
Yeah, certainly.
Awesome. So what is the concept behind Levi?
So Levi aims to give you, at its base, a French experience, but not one that you've had before. Sort of our goal is to remain playful. Whimsical is a word that a lot of times folks here like to use.
That's delicious. I've had venison before, but it's very different. This is pure, I can't explain the flavor profile, but it's very different.
We give it kind of a classic treatment. We marinate it in red wine that's steeped with a lot of herbs and mirepoix, and then finish it with a little bit of cocoa powder, and then we marinate it in that overnight. What that does is give kind of this sweet spice, kind of stewed, similar to something like, say, beef bourguignon on the outside. So then when you put it in the pan and roast it, you get this deep, complex sort of set of flavors without overcooking it too much.
It has that it reminds me of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it has a very stewed kind of quality to it.
So your background, the way you grew up, has been very, very interesting. It kind of brought you to so many different types of flavors. Can you share with us how all the different journeys you've had as a child?
Yeah, I was born in California, but literally just born there. When I was about a year old, my family moved to the Gulf. My dad worked for ExxonMobil. So we were down there till I was 10, and then we became expats at that point. My dad took a job as a project manager in Norway. So lived there for 4 years, and that was just a complete kind of awakening. In my head, I have a few memories from before that, age 10. And then after age 10, it's a whole flood of memories, smells, and just temperatures, and my whole world was upside down. You go from Houston to Norway. It's like coming back to the US and moved to New York. Some friends gave me a house and the ability to just sort of work in a restaurant if I wanted to, and after that, I didn't look back. So I went to school in Hyde Park at the Culinary Institute of America for my associates, and then right down to the city, Brooklyn for 12 years before.
For someone that's not come here before, how do you, if I'm a vegetarian and you prefer meats, how do we share a meal together?
So a lot of what's happened with the food is a lot of the garnishes and things like that, sort of just through my own style of eating and the way that I feel that flavors blend, lend themselves really well to becoming just vegetarian as they are. So the whole point was to create flexibility. So if we give a meat eater or a fish eater or just a protein eater in general, or like an animal eater, I should say, a menu, we aim to do the same for a vegetarian. So we provide as many as we can possibly think in as many different styles. So the person who sits down who's vegetarian gets a menu just like the other person would, but mine would have, say, meat, fish, and those options, where yours would have strictly vegetable-based dishes.
Tell me about the local farmers. I know that you guys do incorporate a lot of the local produce.
Yeah, we're currently working to do as much as we can with our meat and our fish, and there's some staples that people like to see, like lobster and foie gras. So we try to balance those with our local vegetables to at least give every plate kind of a touch of the aina, a little bit of here, so it doesn't feel too foreign. We work extensively with Here Bar Farms. We pretty much bring in most of their portfolio of vegetables. That was one of our first producers. When my wife and I moved here about 5 years ago, we went to the farm, and that was when Kurt and Pam still were running everything, and we got a great tour, and it just sort of sold us on the idea that they grew some of the sweetest, nicest lettuce you could get, beautiful little round, cute little thumbelina carrots, and I still can't find better fennel anywhere on the island. But recently we've begun working with Kahumana, which brings us some really nice greens. They're out Waianae side. So they give us nice mustard greens and ruby streaks. And then, of course, we get a lot of things like our basics, like we get our Maui onions through them. And then we get just regular horse carrots, as well as like beautiful leeks. They grow these amazing leeks that are somewhere between a baby and a full-grown leek to it.
We got to sample that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so, everybody loves garlic, everybody loves parsley, chicken, bacon, all the things go together so well.
This is delicious.
That is exactly what we do here. Ludovico Farms just gives us such a wonderful product, and they're just such humble people. Yeah.
So, can we sample this as well?
Yeah, of course. I'll cut you a piece of both the white and the dark meat, because everybody likes different, but they're both delicious.
That looks really good.
Yeah, Ludovico family does a wonderful job raising these chickens, a lot of love and just honesty to it. So we've wanted for a while to really
There's the escargot.
support them. Exactly.
Very cool.
So we're very happy to bring something like this on.
That's very good.
Yeah, a wonderful chicken. We get them pretty much right after they're slaughtered, to the point that you gotta wait a day before you can do anything with them.
I don't know if I've had escargot this way.
We go through everything that you normally do to the escargot, so normally white wine and butter. Mm-hmm.
Very good. So you cooking now, we're having you're raising a child in Hawaii, you live in Hawaii, you work at a wonderful Hawaii restaurant in Hawaii. What do you love about Hawaii?
Oh man. It was first and foremost, the reason for moving here was just a lot of the culture that's here. We wanted to try to have a family. So we were fortunate when our daughter was born, but we just loved that family was important here. that there's a connection to the outdoors, and that you know, people just, they believe in gathering, they believe in being together. That's been the hardest thing through all of this, but I think if anything, that's really strengthened that core principle.
Thank you, Chef Patrick, for sharing your recipes and your fabulous stories with us. For more information, visit leviwaikiki.com. We're here today with President of Sysco Hawaii, Jason Wong. Jason, you have had Sysco Hawaii here for how long? How long has it been?
So we've been part of Sysco just about 3 years.
3 years.
Yep.
So with the transition, because it's formerly HFM, what would you say Sysco Hawaii brings to the customer? What are the benefits of being a Sysco Hawaii customer?
Yeah, so it's more than just buying that bottle of ketchup, because you can buy that bottle of ketchup anywhere you like. The vision for Sysco and our vision statement is very clear. It's to be our customer's most valued and trusted business partner. It's having the right service, being in the middle of the Pacific and getting goods out on the mainland and here and out to every island on time, in great shape and safely. It's not to be taken for granted. I know that sometimes we think, well, magic, it just shows up, but we have a team of amazing people that get it all here on time, in great shape, every day. And food safety is a big one that I think that Sysco brings an elevated level. So we have something called a BRC audit. BRC it's a third party that comes in and audits our procedures for food safety. And I think, you know, with Sysco, we're making sure that from the Tyson or the chicken plant in Wyoming, that we can tell you the temperature of that chicken all the way until your door. And I think that's taken for granted. So we ensure that food safe supply chain, and that ensures the safety of our customers' brands, their life savings. It's one that I think people forget about a lot of the time.
Welcome to Where Hawaii Eats. Today we're at the Sysco Hawaii Business Resource Center. It's more than a concept kitchen. And today we're also joined by Jenny Liu. She's the operations manager for Goma Tei restaurants in Hawaii. Welcome, Jenny.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you very much for joining us today. Tell me a little bit about the dish.
Okay, this is the Ginger Chicken Cold Noodle. The most important thing of a cold noodle is actually the noodle, right? Actually, with the help of Sysco, we're able to make our own noodle in 2018. The technician fly in from Japan help us to set up the machines, custom made for us, and Sysco help us to bring in the flours from Japan. So with help of everyone, we're finally able to make the noodle taste as good as the one in Japan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't think so can we try this?
Yeah, of course. Let me help you.
Okay. So I see we have a poached noodle. What is the name of this dish?
This is the Ginger Chicken Cold Noodle. It's actually, we have it on the menu, but we have two different sauces. We have the original sauce, it's a sesame base. We also have the sauce that we made today, is the ginger chicken sauce. When you start, you normally just put the chicken on the side, mix the egg together with the noodle. I know probably you're not a raw egg person, but
I've never had a poached egg with
really
my ramen.
good with noodles. Yeah,
I
this
trust
noodle.
you.
Okay, let's try it.
Okay. Now, why ramen though? Why did the owners think, let's open up a ramen place?
Because that's their childhood favorite food. They grew up in a really poor neighborhood in Kalihi area, so they always eat Zippy's salmon when they were little. So when they grew up, they want to open a ramen business, and they went to Japan trying to find the best recipe. We opened our first one in 2006 at World Center. So, you know, the rest is history.
So Kahala Mall location recently started a breakfast option.
Yes, we have to thank Sysco for that too, because they help us bring in more flours. We are able to get the cake flour, you know, different type of things that for our breakfast souffle pancake. Have you ever heard about souffle pancakes before?
I've heard of it, but I don't know if I've ever had it at Goma Tei.
It's a new trending item in Japan. It's more fluffy, cotton candy, like it's really airy. You don't need to chew. It basically melts in your mouth.
Wow.
It's really, really good. Takes a lot of effort to make, but because we're making our own noodle, we have the flour, so why not? So we start to explore the opportunity to serve Japanese-style breakfast.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to see
Yeah,
what
let's
this is all
try
about
this
here. I've
first.
had this dish before, but again, I didn't have the poached noodle or poached egg option on it, so I'm excited to try it. This is delicious.
Great.
I have not
Glad you
had
liked
a
it.
poached egg on my ramen before. So what is your favorite thing on the menu?
When people talk about Goma Tei, tantan is our face. Tantan is a spicy sesame flavor soup, and then it's a slightly spicy, it's more flavorful on the creamier side. And our most popular dish is the regular tantan ramen, which comes with a one big piece, super thick piece of char siu.
So when my daughter was, I think she was about 2 years old, she went to, we took her to Goma Tei. She ate this bowl of ramen and we just were so shocked that she ate the whole entire bowl. Like super fast. So it's like one of her favorite restaurants to go. We call her the noodle monster, but she loves Goma Tei.
Great, I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you for watching Where Hawaii Eats. Jenny, let's finish eating.
Yeah, great.